What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Creative Crypto Show. I believe we are live in the group. Let me just double check that. Hang on. Get my other menus out of the way here. Come on. Facebook. Play nice. I see that I'm live. Let me just make sure that the audio is coming through here in the group, and it is. So what's up, everybody? Welcome to another beautiful Friday, and welcome to the world of crypto. This is the Creative Crypto Show. If you're watching this in the Facebook group, drop me a like, drop me a comment, let me know that you're listening, and if you get value, then let us know. If you're watching this from, also if you'd like to join the actual Zoom call today and see what we got going on and contribute, then you're more than welcome to do that. Just click the link here in the Facebook description. It's right above. If you're watching this on YouTube, welcome. Smash the thumbs up and, and the subscribe button if you haven't done so already. But if you would like to also come into the free Facebook group and hang out with us there, you're more than welcome to do that. The description is in, I was going to say the description's in the link. That's not it. That's not good English. The link is in the description, so click the button down there, and we'll get you added to the group, and you can join the party. So today, what's on the agenda for today? I'm all fluttered because there's lots going on, lots of exciting stuff. I got phone calls coming in that I can't take at the moment because I'm live streaming. Sorry, Mom. Call you back. Let's see. Today we're going to talk about basically one thing. That is the collapse of Deutsche Bank, the downgrade of Deutsche Bank. I posted in the group. It's right on schedule. I'm talking about this for weeks. It finally happened about an hour before midnight last night. Which was the deadline. The S&P downgraded Deutsche Bank to a BBB+ rating from, I believe, an A-. So we're going to talk about that and what it actually means. A couple of things. I've kind of laid out the picture of what it means in the past episodes. I've been saying that this is likely going to happen at the end of the month. It wasn't guaranteed, but in my mind it kind of was, because there's no way that with everything that's going on and has been going on for the last 10 plus years with Deutsche Bank, no way that they're gonna not be downgraded, in my opinion. So it happened, and that's what we're going to talk about. Before we do, we always start with some good news, just because it kind of kicks us off on the right vibe here. Got a couple of people that have joined us. Cindy, welcome to the call. I'm going to promote you where you can actually chat. Danny, welcome to the call as well. Let me get you guys on here where you can speak. How do I do this? All right, there's Danny. Now let me add Cindy. Okay. So both of you guys, and here's Jessica. Let's see. All right. So what's up, everybody? Allowed to talk is not available. Or Cindy. Okay, Cindy, you're using, it looks like you're using an older version. Okay, there it goes. Ah, sweet. Awesome. What's up, everybody? Welcome to the call. Thanks for joining us. So we're at the good news part. So let's start with some good news before we get into all of this. What is something good that's going on in life for you right now? Jessica, Danny, Cindy, what you got?
Okay, I happen to be owed some money. Not a lot, but be happy to get it back. So that was a good start of the day.
Somebody that owes you money paid you the money. That's always good.
Yep, always good.
That's always
that is good.
A nice start to the day. All right, what else we got?
Two things. One, I got an email from Litecoin, and their marketplace is up, and also our tech coins are going to start going over there, being deposited in there. So I'm happy about that. And this weekend I'm flying out to Reno, my sister's birthday. I got one who lives there. Her birthday's the 3rd, which is Sunday, and my other sister is tomorrow, Logan. And that's my grandson. So, yeah, I'm happy about those 2 things.
Very cool. Jessica, how about you? You're closing on a house today, right?
I am. I'm actually driving there now. The movers are moving really fast today, which I like, and everything's going smoothly. So today's a great Friday.
Cool. It's always fun closing on a new house. So we're going to actually talk about the housing market as well, because this Deutsche Bank news will affect that. So we're going to get into all of that stuff. My good news is I've just gotten back last night from a 5-day trip to Florida with my daughter. We had an amazing time. We went to the zoo. We had a massive water balloon fight with like 800 water balloons. It took hours and hours to fill them up and prepare them because we didn't have one of those like turn it and like all of the balloons fill up. We did it one by one. So it took hours, and then all of the fun was over in like 6 minutes, but it was so worth it. It was a great fight. And so we had a good time and made it back safely last night. So that is my good news for the week. So, all right, let me share my screen. We're going to see what's actually going on in the crypto market, and then I'll get into the news of what we got going on. Share screen. Share this screen. Boom. And you guys can see that screen. Good to go. All right, so we're going to start with coin market cap so that we can get a feel for what's actually going on in the crypto market. First thing we look at is the market cap, 328 billion. That is up yesterday from 322, or up from the last time we did it, which would be Thursday. So not a lot of movement there. The 24-hour volume within the normal range, 16.2 billion. The total number of cryptocurrencies on this site, 1,640. So that's increased by 7 since last time. And then Bitcoin dominance is at 38.6%. So that's a little bit down, but still pretty flat for the last little while. Just at first glance, scrolling down, you see a lot of red with a little bit of green mixed in. And so on this first page, it looks like we've got about 3 dozen coins from out of all of these that are in the green. So 2 of them are in double digits, Kyber Network and Nebulous. I have no idea what either of those are. I do, however, know what Theta token is. It's one of my top picks for cryptos. I'm loading up on Theta. I've talked about it a little bit before. I'm not going to get into it because we got some important news to get into. However, I am a fan of this token. I'll probably do an episode directly, specifically about this one in the future. But this is a token I'm very interested in. It has potential. It's got some massive partners on board. They did not do an ICO. There was some big money ready to go into this project, but they pulled out at the last minute. And so that could be the move that actually makes them one of the largest projects and tokens that are out there because of just the space that they're going into, the problem that they're solving, the amount of people that problem, that solution that they're creating is actually helping. And the team is really good. They've got a lot of good backing. They've got a solid team. All of the research that I've done on Theta has been really good. And then one little cool side note that may or may not matter to you. On the woo-woo side of things, there's this lady named Michelle White Dove. She's her title is, I think, America's greatest psychic or best psychic or something like that. So the psychic did a crypto prediction, and she listed out a bunch of different coins and just kind of her prediction on it. The interesting part is when I was doing research, I found that she has in her data that the Theta token is going to be one of the largest and most successful coins out there in the next 3 to 5 years. So I thought that was kind of cool. Right now it's 25 cents. And she says in the next year or two, it's, easily over a couple of $1,000s. So that's a pretty big jump. I'm a fan of Theta. That being said, don't, do your own research. I'm not advising you on this. I'm just showing you telling you what I do and kind of my journey. So anyway, anybody that owns any of these that have that are in the green, congratulations, you're doing well this morning. The biggest losers this morning are not that big, actually, not even in the double digits. So around 8% is the biggest drop. So all in all, for the last couple of weeks, we're a bit of a sideways market, and not a lot of movement one way or the other. Now, from a technical analysis standpoint, we're getting to a point where we're getting to a breakout point either way. Now, we could continue to go down a little bit more, because if we look at the price where we're at right now, Bitcoin's at 7,400. Let's see, Bitcoin Cash 982, EOS 1205, Litecoin 117, and my alarm's going off. And so we're getting to the point where we're going to see some breakout movements pretty soon from Bitcoin. And when Bitcoin breaks out, then these others will adjust. Right now, I'm still in buying mode. I've been talking about it for quite a while. Now is a great time to accumulate coins, because the Bitcoin dominance is kind of high, and these other coins, like the value that you get, the buying power of Bitcoin right now is just really good. And so I'm still buying. What my philosophy and just overall approach right now that I'm taking is I've got a few coins. I've got probably 24 coins that I've heavily researched and continue to research, and I believe in and I like. And I'm invest when I pick a coin to put on my list to invest in, I'm picking it for next year and beyond. I'm buying it to hold. I'm not buying it to trade next week and make a profit and take the profits. That's not why I buy. That to me is too damn stressful. I don't like having to be tied to the price of the crypto market every single day. Now, don't get me wrong. I look at it multiple times every single day because I'm doing other stuff, but I'm not looking at it from the perspective of how's my portfolio doing? Am I up or down? Can I sell or should I buy more? I'm not looking. I've bought it for the long term, for 12 months or beyond. And so I've done the research, picked the coins. I believe in the coins. I believe in the people behind them. And so those are the ones that I'm interested in. So I'm not really looking right now for a lot of new projects. What I'm doing right now is accumulating. I've got my list of ones that I like. My job is now, how can I get more of those? These are the coins that I've picked that I think are, have the best potential in thriving during this period of transition that we're going into, moving away from the old money system into the new money system. And so I've kind of got my coins there. I talk about a lot of them that I'm fans of here on the show. So yeah, that's my strategy. That's what I've got going on at the moment. If we look at, let's go into the bond market and just kind of take a look what's going on here. This is the Vanguard total bond market. You see that for the last year, this thing has been selling off just drastically. And this is the best representation of the US dollar that we can basically find in terms of a trading symbol. Now, what's interesting is this move up right here. This past couple of weeks, there's a nice little jump up in the price. Now, you guys that are familiar with the show know that this is complete manipulation. Like this is somebody clicking a mouse and pouring. This is no small move. This is hundreds of billions of dollars going into bonds. Nobody is buying hundreds of billions of dollars worth of bonds right now. I promise you. Like, governments are the ones that buy that, and every government knows that the dollar is dying and trying to get rid of the shit. Nobody wants it. This is somebody clicking a mouse and inflating this just to keep face, to keep the preservation right now, to say we're okay. If you look back at 2008, when the housing crisis came up and all the stuff happened with the stock market and all of that, days before, like the day before, people were saying everything's good. The stock market's never crashed. We've never, went away. Like, we're always going to be here. It's good. Like, they were saying buy and everything's okay the day before the big banks, you know, got bailed out or went down, but they didn't go fully down because they got bailed out. That's kind of along the lines of what's going on right now in terms of bailout. My point with this particular thing, you're going to see this continue to move down. This will eventually end up at zero. That's the trajectory here. That's where we're going. The dollar is going to zero. Those of you that don't believe it yet, that's okay. I would not recommend collecting a whole bunch of US dollars. Go out, do what you need to do to make a whole bunch of those US dollars, but as you get them, take them, number one, out of the banks, and then take them, number two, and convert them into something else that will be around in a little while, and will retain value. So what is that something else? Gold, silver, those are good options. Crypto is a good option, because we didn't have cryptos the last time that the world was in this situation. Cryptos were not an option back then. Now they are. The reason that we had the bailout last time is because we didn't have cryptos. There was no alternative. The banks that were too big to fail, that's the reason they got bailed out, because it literally would cause a complete financial devastation across the world. Like, that's the reason they were bailed out, because we didn't have a backup in place at the time. Now, there was a backup in the works. That was supposed to be it, but it wasn't ready. Now we're here again a few years later, and now we have an option. I don't think, because we've had books written about it, we've had movies created about it. If the banks go down, I do not think personally there will be a bailout like there was last time. I just don't think the people will go for it. I don't think it'll be voted for. I do not think it will go through, because they realize how ridiculous the system is, and now we have options. And plus the bailout, the cost of a bailout, we're talking hundreds of trillions of dollars to make a dent. And that's just one bank. And when this one bank goes down, guess what? There's a whole lot more banks that will be happening right on the heels of that. So what am I actually talking about? If we go into the group here, I've got posted an article. Actually, I posted this 3 times, and for some reason, none of them stuck except the last one, which I had a better description here. But it wasn't posted. It didn't post in the group for some reason. I don't know why. Nonetheless, here's the article. You can read it for yourself. You can do a Google search. This isn't the only article where you can find this. Probably isn't the best one either. However, this says it all. S&P cuts Deutsche Bank rating in the latest blow for Soing's revamp. So Soing is the new head at Deutsche Bank. He's been the one kind of panicking. He replaced the old guy that was in there, or the guy that was in there, and they kicked him out, brought this new guy in. He's been revamping everything and scrambling and not doing enough. There's so much going on with their layoffs, their restructure. Everything is going against them, and it just wasn't enough. S&P came out in April of last month and said, you know what, you're on credit watch. If you don't clean up your shit, we're going to downgrade you, is essentially what was said. And I said it that day when the article came out. There's no way they're going to clean up their stuff. They can't. There's too much. Like, they're in too deep. This game is like, the derivatives are side bets on, so many different types of contracts. Like, there's no way that, like, they don't have anywhere close to the amount of money to even pay these derivative contracts. So now that the downgrade has actually happened, they said that we'll do it before the end of May. They're always right on time. They're pretty, when they say they're going to do something, they do. And so literally an hour before midnight last night, the last possible moment, they said that's when the announcement came out. They were downgraded from I believe they were A- to a BBB+, the third lowest investment grade, citing significant execution risk. After several management changes, the strategy updates this past years, shares of the lender rebounded from a record low, blah, blah, blah. Let's see. Deutsche Bank's updated strategy, deeper restructuring of the business model than we previously expected. While management is taking tough actions to restore profitability, the bank appears set for a period of sustained unperformance compared with peers. Many have now finished restructuring. What am I looking for here? This is not the article that I actually wanted. There's a better one on zero hedge, but I don't know why I couldn't find it on this computer. I do have it on another one though. So this, there's lots of news about it. Just Google Deutsche Bank downgrade. Let's actually do that right now and just see what else comes up. Maybe I can find this article that I'm looking at on the fly. CNBC, Bloomberg, The Guardian, CNN. I want zero hedge. It's on here. Boom, there we go. This is the one that I want, I believe. So S&P downgrades Deutsche Bank to be BBB plus. Okay. So there's a statement in here of what they said when they downgraded them. And I just want to read this because it's kind of telling. All right, so the full text of the S&P downgrade right here. So on May 24th, Deutsche Bank announced further details of its planned multi-year restructuring, focusing notably on its U.S. equities sales and trading business. We consider that the management is taking tough actions. I already read that. However, we see significant execution risk in the delivery of the updated strategy, meaning your strategy is not going to work. It sucks. And there's a lot of other stuff going on too amid a continued unhelpful market backdrop. And we think that related to peers, Deutsche Bank will remain a negative outlier for some time. We are lowering to a BBB plus from an A- our long-term issuer credit rating of Deutsche Bank and its operating subsidiaries. Here's where it gets funny. We are affirming our ratings, Deutsche Bank's subordinate debt issues, including our negative BBB rating on its senior subordinated, also known as senior non-preferred instruments. The stable outlook reflects our view that management will execute its strategy in earnest and over time will show progress against its 2019 financial objectives and so achieve its long-term objective of a more sustainable and better functioning business model. Our central scenario assumes that the cost-cutting measures will be tailored and tagged enough to preserve the bank's capital markets franchise, in particular Europe, and avoid substantial revenue loss. This last statement is so absurd. This is them being kind of nice with a big punch in the face. This is them saying, okay, we think your plan sucks, but maybe it'll work. And if it does, if it works the way that you've been selling us on how it's going to work, then yeah, you guys will be okay. No way this is going to happen. Absolutely no way this will not happen. This is just a kind of a, I don't know, a nicety, a courtesy. I have no idea. This bank is, so here's what this means. With now that the bank has been downgraded, it's going to cost them so much more money to actually, their money is going to become a lot more expensive. And so they have the largest derivative holdings in the entire world. And all of those, a lot of those are going to start going sideways now. So this negative rating, it literally voids, I don't know how many yet. I'll do some more research and figure out. But this negative rating will basically, what's the word I'm looking for? It not cancels, but it puts it out of qualification for the existing contracts. There's a lot of like billions of dollars in derivative contracts that's written that says, look, these are good and you don't have to pay us back until you drop below this particular rating. And now they've dropped below that particular rating. And so billions and billions of dollars in derivative payments are going to come due. There's another criminal aspect to this that I won't get into today just because I really do want to try to keep these shows a little bit shorter. But I get fired up on them sometimes, and the last several have been a little bit longer. So I'll continue to talk about this because what this means, like it's not going to, the banks are not going to collapse tomorrow. It's going to take some time. It's probably going to take a couple of weeks before these derivatives start coming due. And we see the repercussions from this downgrade really start happening. But once they start, they're not going to stop. We're going to see one thing will lead to the next thing, will lead to the next thing, will lead to the next thing. And this bank will get to a point, it will go down relatively soon. It won't take long. Once these contracts start clicking in, it's not going to take long. These guys are in big trouble. And when this bank goes down, the others will follow. Citibank is likely going to be after. JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, all the big banks are going to be affected by this bank. Whatever happens, this is the biggest derivative holder though. So a lot of the derivatives are with these other banks, and it's just a messy situation. There's absolutely no way that that they can fix it. In my opinion, I don't want to say there's no way, but there's a very tiny chance, in my opinion, that a bailout will occur this time. I just don't think people will go for it. And if there is no bailout, and now I'm talking about the big, massive bailout. We might have smaller bailouts. There might be smaller temporary bailouts to save face and to kind of, make things seem better than they actually are. However, if one bank does it and another bank is going to come for a bailout and another one's going to come, like there's no way. It won't happen that way. Like this is going to be a big time blow. And when people start pulling their money out, where's it going to go? It's going to go into crypto. Crypto is the solution now. People are going to start looking for it. There are cryptos that are positioned for this transition. Veritasium is one of them. It's one of the ones that I'm very much a fan of, because as these banks start to wobble and actually start going down, it's going to become difficult to do a lot of stuff. To get banks to loan you money. It's going to be one of the first things that they cut off, is loaning money for things like, I don't know, houses. And so as banks stop loaning money for houses, what do you think that's going to do for the housing market? What do you think that's going to do for the price of real estate? If you can't get cash to buy, if you don't have the cash to buy a house, and you would depend on the banks to give you the cash, but the banks aren't giving cash, real estate prices are going to the floor. There's many predictions from some very smart and educated people on this topic that say that the end of the housing market, the very bottom, the absolute bottom of the housing market, is in like the next 15 years. 2031, I think is the date. And that's the very bottom. Well, this is going to be a start of that. There's going to be if people are properly positioned, there's a massive transfer going on, and we all have time right now to benefit from this. If you're properly positioned in things like gold and silver and cryptos, and you accumulate enough cash, you're going to be able to get real estate for really cheap in the future as well, at a massive discount. So that's another thing to consider. In terms of like actionable stuff, I'll leave you guys with this for today. In terms of actionable stuff, like what should you do now that this is happening? Because this is the official news that we've been waiting for. I've been talking about it for weeks now. If this bank gets downgraded, that's the beginning of the end of this bank. It's not the beginning. It's been going down for quite some time. However, this is the biggest domino as of late, and this is a big deal, because this is going to be, along with the criminal stuff that also came out about Deutsche Bank at the exact same time, and then literally yesterday, the Federal Reserve came out and said that they said some negative stuff about the Deutsche Bank too, that they've been in this negative watch on their list for like the past, I forget what it says. I'll pull that up and post it in the group, but like over a year, like over the past year. And so those three things coming out all at the same time, I believe this bank is absolutely going to go down. And so what we want to do to be prepared, what my suggestion would be, is if I'm not putting any money into anything that's connected with the stock market. I'm not putting any money into any cryptos that I leave on exchange or by exchange. All of the cryptos that I purchase, I get them out of the exchanges. Don't leave cryptos in the exchanges. What I would suggest for everybody is get yourself ready. Get your accounts set up at, on the crypto exchanges. I would get on multiple crypto exchanges if I were you. Just set the accounts up, verify the accounts. You don't have to buy anything just yet, but set them up, get them verified, because that takes time, and then connect them to your bank. Connect them to your bank account so that you can move money from your bank account into the crypto exchange, buy some crypto, and then get it out onto your own wallet. You want to be able to do that quickly, because literally overnight, a bank can go on a bank holiday. Ask anybody from some of these countries that's happened to, where just all of a sudden they go to the bank one day and they're like, oh no, it's Tuesday in the middle of the day, but we're on a bank holiday, and we don't know when we'll reopen. And I'm sorry, you can't get any of your money. And then that situation stays the same for weeks. So my suggestion is to just prepare yourself to get your crypto exchange account set up, connected to the banks, so that you can move some money. Because if they do close up and say, you know what, I'm sorry, you can't withdraw your money, then you need an option. You need to be able to get it somewhere else. And if you wait until then to go and set up a crypto exchange, it could be too late, because it could happen quickly. So my recommendation for those that watch this show would be, go ahead and do that now. Just prepare yourself. Even if you're not going to buy it, that's fine. Whatever. That is what I would recommend. So with that being said, we're going to wrap up today's call. I will definitely be talking more about this over the next little bit. So what I'm going to do is I want to give away some more Litecoin. So anybody that is watching this that does not already own Litecoin, I'm going to give you $10 in free Litecoin. All you have to do to claim it is send me your Litecoin wallet ID. And if you do already own Litecoin, so I'm going to put a video. I'm going to take this video, upload it to YouTube, and in the description of it, if you go to the Creative Crypto YouTube channel, you can look at the past few videos in the description. And there's a link to another video that I did that shows you exactly how to claim your free Litecoin. I'll give it to you. The reason I'm doing it is because the more people that if I give you $10 of Litecoin today, and it's, you're going to, you put it on your phone, you'll watch it. You'll pay attention. You'll be paying more attention to the price because you got it. And if it's worth $30 next month, or, $60 or $100 or whatever, it's going to be, you're going to get more involved, and you'll probably end up buying more Litecoin. So it helps my investment of Litecoin because I'm a very big fan of it. It's one of my largest holdings in all of my crypto portfolio. I believe it's positioned. It has the potential to be one of the most widely used cryptocurrencies out there, even more so than Bitcoin, in my opinion, due to speed and transaction fees and just other stuff. So I'm a big fan of Litecoin and where it can go in the future. I'm loading up on it. So if I give somebody that doesn't already have Litecoin, if I give you some, then all of a sudden you're paying attention to it, and potentially going to get involved. And that just increases the value in my investment, because the more people that get involved and hold and buy Litecoin, the more the price goes up. And so those of you that do already own Litecoin, unfortunately, I'm not giving this away to people that already own it. My whole objective here is to get more new people into the mix. And so here's what you can do if you already hold it. If you already hold it, great. It's a great move. You should probably own more. So share this video. Sharing this video will get more people to get Litecoin, and that when more people have Litecoin, then the value goes up. So you can help out your own investments in Litecoin by just sharing this video. So I'm going to put the link in the description below the YouTube video. So all you got to do to get it, I walk you through the exact process. You just got to download the Litecoin wallet on your app, and then take your wallet ID and send it to me. That way I know where to send the $10 in Litecoin. And I've got a video tutorial that walks how to do it. I'll post it in the YouTube description here underneath this video. So just follow those instructions. Send me that email with your Litecoin address. I will send you over the Litecoin within probably a few hours of receiving that. And we'll be off and running. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap up today's show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out, paying attention, and listening to me. I appreciate all of you. Get your money out of the banks, into crypto. Now's a great time to get into crypto. And we'll talk to you all very soon. Take care. Have a great day.